David Smith here with another Flipped Classroom math video. A few tips before we get started. Remember, you can always pause the video to make extra notes or write down questions for when we meet in class. Also, remember to pause the video when I provide an example. Work that problem, then start the video up again and see how well you did. You can also turn on the captions so you can see my words written below on the screen. You can also speed up or slow down the video if you wish. Remember to think hard, follow along, and bring your best brain to the next time we have class. Today's topic, more expansion practice. So no new laws or patterns today, but we're going to increase the complexity of the problems that we've been doing, and we're going to pull in all of those rules that we've been using so far in this chapter. So here's an example problem I'm going to walk you through. 2x plus 3 times x squared plus 4x plus 5. So binomial, this thing, it's called a trinomial, 3 for try. So we're just going to do this. This one is kind of like FOIL, except we've got to keep track of a little bit more. We're going to multiply this first term in the binomial by each of the 3 terms in the trinomial, and then the second the same way by each of the 3 terms in the trinomial. So let's do this. 2x times x squared is 2x squared. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. Now I made a mistake. Pause the video and see if you can catch it. Okay, it's right there, right? 2x times x squared is x to the third, okay? Finally, 2x times 5 is 10x. So now I've done the first one times all 3. Some people like to do this. 1, 2, 3, like the rainbow to kind of keep track. So let's do that this way. 3 times x squared gives us 3x squared. 3 times 4x gives us 12x. And lastly, 3 times 5 gives us 15. Now, you may have noticed that I wrote a little instruction up here. Expand and simplify. And I underlined the and. You've got to simplify. We're starting to get problems where there's multiple steps drawing on things you learned either this year or last year, and you've got to put it all together to get your answer into the simplest form. So here, we've got 6 terms, and we've got a bunch of like terms that we can combine. Let's take a look. Do I have any other x cubed terms? I don't. So this comes down, 2x to the third. Now I have 2 x squared terms. I have an 8x squared and a 3x squared. So that's going to get me 11x squared. And then I have 2 x terms. I have a 10x and a 12x. That's going to get me 22x. And lastly, I have 1 constant. Okay? So that's my solution. Okay, let's have you try this one. 4x squared minus 2x plus 5, the trinomial, times the binomial, 3x plus 2. Pause the video. Okay, let's see how you did. 4x squared times 3x gives me 12x to the third. 4x squared times 2 gives me 8x squared. Now I shift on to the second term. Negative 2x times 3x gives me minus 6x squared. Negative 2x times 4 gives me negative 4x. Finally, using the last term, 5 times 3x gives me 15x. And 5 times 2x gives me 10 for my constant. Now I'm going to simplify by combining like terms, only 1 cubed. So that's 12x cubed, comes down. Now I have 2x squared terms. I have a positive 8 and a minus 6. So that leaves me with 2x squared. And then I have 2x terms. I have a minus 4 and a plus 15x. So that's going to give me plus 11x, bring down my constant. Okay, let's try a little bit more complicated one. I'm going to do this example, and then I'm going to give you one to try. If you want to just go for it, do this one, check it, then pause again and try that one. Let's get started. Okay, so now I have a binomial to the third power. What is that? Well, what that is that's x plus 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay? So now there's a special technique for doing this that I think makes a lot of sense. Leave this one out and just do these 2 first. That's a FOIL. It's a pretty straightforward FOIL. And then you're going to have a trinomial that you're then going to multiply by that binomial. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over here. X squared, that's the first. Outside is 2x. Inside is another 2x. And last is plus 4. And that comes down to be x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now, if you remember your perfect squares pattern, if I'd been thinking, I could have skipped that step and gone straight to this. If that's not ringing bells, you might want to go take a look at the perfect squares video. Okay, so now let's put parens around this and bring down that last x plus 2. Okay, so remember, this term is the result of just multiplying these by FOIL, and I got that, but this is still out there. I need to multiply by it. The reason there's 3 is I have a 3 up here, x squared, or x plus 2 cubed. Okay, so now we're just going to have to keep track of all of our steps. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 2 is 8x. And 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times 2 is 8 for our constant. Bring everything down. 3x, or just x cubed, plus I have 2x squared terms, so that's going to give me 6x squared, because I got a 2 and a 4, that gives me the 6. I have 2x terms. 8 and 4 is 12, so that's 12x. Bring down my 8. Okay? So hopefully that made sense and you're ready to give one a try. Go ahead and pause the video and see what you get with that. Okay, let's see what you got. Using the technique from before, this is x plus 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 3. I'm going to do this one first, and I'm going to remember my perfect square pattern, and so I know that this is going to be first thing squared plus 2 times second thing times first thing times plus last thing. So x squared plus 2 times 3 times x, that's going to give me 6x plus 9. Okay, again, to review the perfect squares, that made this go really quick. Okay, bring down my plus 3. Now I'm going to have this complicated step, keeping track. X squared plus x is x to the third. X squared plus 3 is 3x. 6x times x is 6x squared. 6x times 3 is 18x. 9 times x is 9x. And our constant is going to be 27. Now I'm simplifying by combining like terms. Again, only one cubed term, so that stays the same. I have a 6x squared. Now where did I make my mistake? I should have another x squared term. Pause the video and see if you can figure out where it is. I see. It's right here. This was x squared times 3. Okay? So now I can combine these two and get my 9x squared. And then 18x plus 9x is 27x plus 27. Okay? Here's another one for you to try. Slightly different structure. See if you can figure it out. Pause the video. Okay, let's see what you got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do distributive property here, get the result of that, and then bring this down and then finish. Okay, so x times x is x squared. X times 1 is just x. So I'm going to keep that in its own parens, because that's what happened when I multiplied there and there. Bring down my x plus 2. Now I just have a binomial times a binomial. This is the product rule, or FOIL. So x squared times x gives me x to the third. X squared times 2 gives me plus 2x squared. X times x gets me another x squared term. And finally, x times 2 gets me 2x. Combine my like terms. I only have 1 cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x. Okay, let's have you try this one. This is 3 binomials, but they're all different. Okay? So give that a shot. I'll give you a hint before I let you go. FOIL this, then take the result of that and multiply it by that. Okay? All right, let's see how you did. So I'm going to FOIL this. I'm going to get x squared minus 2x plus x minus 2. Combine my like terms. I'm going to get x squared minus x minus 2 times x plus 2. And now back to multiplying a trinomial times a binomial. Lots of steps, kind of picky, have to keep track. X squared times x is x to the third. X squared times 2 is plus 2x squared. Negative x times x is going to be minus x squared. Negative x times 2 is going to be minus 2x. Last one, negative 2 times x is another minus 2x, and negative 2 times 2 is minus 4. Let's do the cleanup, combine our like terms. X to the third. Now I have a 2x squared minus x squared, so that gives me just plus 1x squared. Got those. Minus 2x and another minus 2x is minus 4x, and then a minus 4. If you still have questions, write them down now and bring them to our next class. You can also watch the video again and perfect your notes. Finally, if you enjoyed watching my video, please click the like button down below. And if you'd like to help me grow my YouTube channel, please click subscribe.